Hey everybody, today we're going to be doing some practice, going over how to do certain challenge problems in coding, specifically Java. We're going to go over about 2 questions in this video in the warm-up 1 section. I know I haven't posted in a while, been busy with some things, but let's just get into it. Alright, the one we're gonna work on first will be string E. I feel like this is one of the easiest ones. So, return true if the given string contains between 1 and 3 E characters. So basically, look at what the question is asking. It even provides you with examples here. So it wants you to return true if there's anywhere between 1 and 3 E's in the string that is the input string. So what I would personally do here is initiate a counter integer. So you can do int counter equals 0. Don't forget the semicolon. Java. This integer, this variable counter, is basically just going to serve as a counter as we search through the string. Every time we find an E, that counter will go up 1. And then in the end, we're going to check to see if that number is anywhere between 1 and 3. If it is, we return true. If not, we return false. So, how do we search through the string? So that's the next portion. We're going to use a for loop. That seems like the easiest way, in my opinion. For int I equals 0, semicolon, I is less than str dot length. You want to make sure it's less than,
because when you're doing substring to get the specific characters at a certain index, substring only starts at 0 and goes up to 1 less than the number of letters there are. So keep that in mind. It should not be less than or equals to. You could do less than or equals to str.length minus 1, but you cannot just do less than or equal to the length by itself. Moving on.
Then we get the I++ in the bracket. Okay. Now, what you want inside the for loop is to start searching. So, what you first want to do is if str dot substring I plus 1 dot equals, because don't forget with strings you can't do equals, you must use the dot equals function. Dot equals, and then put in an E in string form. Then you up the counter by 1. And then in the end, you can do that final if statement to check if counter, that counter that we've been using, is greater than or equal to 1, because it has to be greater than or equal to 1. And it also has to be less than or equal to 3 to be in between that range. So you do and counter is less than or equal to 3, bracket, return true. And then of course, if it's not in between that range, then you would return false like the method wants you to. Also, feel free at any point to pause the video to try this out for yourself. I will be linking this website in the description for you to try along with me. It's completely free. So there you go, all correct. Let's move on to another question. Alright, this time we're going to be working with booleans. This is sleep in, the very first one on the column. I know I did them out of order, kind of weird. I feel like this one may be even easier than the last one, but I wanted to try a non-string question because we just did a string one. So let's see.
The parameter weekday is true if it is a weekday. Parameter vacation is true if we're on vacation. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory there. We sleep in if it is not a weekday or we're on vacation.
So basically, this whole method is just, checking conditions, and whether certain conditions are true or false, you would return true or false. So this is how we would do it. This one's pretty simple. If weekday equals false, or vacation equals true, return true. and then just like that, you can do return false right outside. Don't forget your semicolons like I did, and it's all correct. But another way you could write this, there's many different syntaxes you could use. Instead of weekday equals false, you could even do exclamation point. This exclamation point basically means not weekday. If it is not a weekday, then it would be true. So exclamation point means false basically if it's not this. So let's try it. Yep, still works out the same way. That's about it for this video. It's pretty short. I'm going to be doing other problems, progressively getting harder, and like I said, try these out yourself. Yeah, it's completely free. Try it out along with me.